Hello? Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episodic installation of the Above It All program. This is my third show in this new format. Some people have said they're not a fan of this new format. I say I don't need that fan. Why? Because I've got this fan. This is a Corsi Rosenthal box fan HEPA grade purifier. So, hello everybody and welcome to the Above It All program. Today is Friday. I am not recording this on Friday, but that's the beauty of it. So, I want to talk about news on today's program. I'm going to be talking about news, going to be talking about some non-news and things. So we're going to be jumping into things as well as news. But we're also going to be talking about things. So I guess let's start off today's program talking about Dianne Feinstein, who had the audacity to die right before, or right after, I should say, I filmed last week's episode. So I'm a little late on this one, but that's okay, because we have some updates here on her death. That's right, she died. And then afterward, there's going to be updates. So she's dead. What else can we update? Well, we can update with this. So check this out. This is a video by a local news station, I think. And it's called Dianne Feinstein's Body Arrives in San Francisco as Mourners Prepare to Say Goodbye. So this is one of those like weird ass moments in human history and American politics where like one of the worst senators in the country dies, and then there's like crowds of mourners. Now, like, I can understand, right? Like if like a musician you love dies, like you've been listening to someone's songs for like 40 years, and then they die, and you want to go pay your respects at a public funeral. You know, they have a private one, they have a public one. You want to go. That's one thing. But Senator Feinstein, like, does she have fans? Like, I'm just like, who would be mourning the death of Senator motherfucking Feinstein? Well, let's find out. We have a local news report.
The casket of the late Senator Dianne Feinstein has arrived at San Francisco City Hall. Our very own Melanie Wingo is live there at the scene. Melanie, what else are you seeing?
Feinstein arrived here at City Hall seconds ago, seconds before you came to me live, and I've stepped away somewhat from the very close proximity to the...
So, okay, so where are the mourners? Like, I'm trying to figure it out. Like, are these the mourners? Are there like 7 of them? Like, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Are those the mourners? Or are these the mourners? I assume this is like friends and family or whatever. Like, where are the mourners, you know? Like, I'm just curious, like, who's mourning? Where are they? How are they mourning? I'm not sure. Let's keep going.
The steps of City Hall. I do want to be respectful of all who are gathered here. Members of the fire department, police department, city leaders, civic leaders, all coming to pay respects to Senator Feinstein. It's been quite... an interesting sort of...
Is there like a fire going on? Like, is this like a barbecue? Is this like a party? You know, like, you ever go to those like those big city protests, you know, and then like in the middle of the protest there's just like a barbecue and people are cooking? That's like a staple in a lot of the big city protests I've been to. Like, is that what's happening? Is this like the Antifa counter protest? They're all like serving hot dogs, you know? You know, I'm just curious. Like, that's what I would be doing if I'm in San Francisco and like Dianne's fucking dead body is there. I'm gonna be frying up some hot dogs. I don't even eat meat, and I'll fry up some fucking hot dogs. I'll make them vegan dogs. You know, you ever see those motherfuckers that like will try like a vegan hot dog at a barbecue, and then like no one told them it was vegan, and they like think it's like assault or something. Oh my god, I was lied to. I was poisoned. Oh my god. You ever see those? It's just a minor aside, but man, top 10 dumbest motherfuckers on planet Earth. Those guys. Number 9. And number 7, Dianne Feinstein's rotting corpse, which is apparently in this truck. Now, keep in mind, this video was posted 2 hours ago. In fact, like the views on this video as of right now, like I get more views than that. So maybe not in 2 hours, you know, but I can get 400 views on a video. I've done it before. I can do it again. So we have a rotting corpse in here. She died a week ago, so she's been dead for a week, motherfucker. And like, now's the time to be mourning? Like, I'm just curious. Like, I mean, like, how long can you parade around the corpse? I'm not sure. I don't know. But let's keep going here. Let's skip ahead a little bit. Like, find out where these mourners are.
Brittany and Mike.
Are these the mourners? Because they look like they're paid to be there. Now, I just want to say, if you are paid to be at this event, you're not a mourner. If you're a family member, you're not a mourner. Why? Because her family members killed her. Like, now again, a lot of people are talking about elder abuse, elder abuse, elder abuse. Oh, she was abused. I don't give a shit. She deserved to be abused. If anyone deserves to be the victim of elder abuse, it's Dianne motherfucking Feinstein. So I don't have a problem with that. But you can't be a mourner if you kill your own fucking family member. And that's what all of her family did. By convincing her to stay in there, even though she didn't know where she was, by like enabling that kind of behavior because she's a senator. Oh yes, she's a senator. And Nancy Pelosi was trying to like, you know, manipulate the fucking Senate race in California, which I guess that fucked up anyway. So they did this all for nothing. That's the other fun part about this. They did it all for nothing. They abused their family member for no reason. They had no reason. There was no like the end goal was not met. So it's really funny. But like that's the point though. Like you can't be mourning. I mean, I guess maybe you can be in mourning over the fact that your whole like abuse schedule didn't really line up, you know? So yeah, I guess you could be in mourning. But my point is like I'm curious, like where are the mourners, right? Like I was promised there's mourners on this screen. In fact, I'm gonna dislike this video. There's no mourners. Like this is some bullshit. Anyway,
it is quite a ceremony filled with, you know, respect, and this is an honor fitting of her legacy.
Like this is like, I'm sorry, man, but like we're talking about like bottom of the barrel. Like I can come up with better fucking like mainstream news commentary. Like really, like this sounds like a sitcom. Like all we need is a laugh track. You know, let me do that thing where I open up the other tab and get like a laugh track here. Like hold up, because like it's worth it. I like even though I'm explaining, you know. I just got an advertisement. Can you believe this shit? All right, there's gonna be no laugh track. I'm sorry. I'm not watching a YouTube ad for a fucking cutaway joke. Anyway, wait, I can edit it in. I forgot. I'm doing an edited segment. That's too much fucking work. I'm not gonna do that.
Quite a ceremony filled with, you know, respect and.
Like I'm sorry, man. Like I don't need a laugh track. I'm laughing at this shit. It's like this like sounds like me when I wake up after like a huge weed bender. It's like fuck. It's like it's a ceremony. Well, it's quite a ceremony, and it's you know, it's like filled. Like what did she say? It's filled with respect.
A ceremony filled with, you know, respect and.
Like what? I'm sorry. All right. Like it was just like this is random. Like I'm just skimming through. Like the whole thing might be this funny. I'm not sure. But let's. So we have the flag. We have like some like random house on fire. And like, are these the mourners? Like I don't know. Like so these are the cops in the fire department. Like where are the mourners? You know, like I'm trying to figure this out, right? Because again, in the title, mourners prepare to say goodbye. Now again, you're a little late. She died a week ago. You're a little late. But like, I'm just like, where are the mourners? You know, like, are these the okay? They're bringing the body in. I thought this was like Michael Myers for a second, but no, that guy's just got a fucking hat on. Like, okay, so all these people are paid to be here, right? These are all like cops and like city officials. They're all paid to be there. Where are the mourners? Like, is this it? Like, are we like? I guess this is it. Like, we just have like 8 mourners. I guess those are the mourners. Anyway, Dianne Feinstein's dead. I would be remiss if I didn't touch upon that, so I had to. Dianne Feinstein, you know, as the kids nowadays say, this is what the kids say. I don't say this. I've never said this in my life, but this is what the kids say. Rip bozo, I believe, is the Zoomer terminology here. But again, I don't know, man. Like, now this is like a little morbid, but also like challenge mode. Can I get more than 8 people to like be a mourner for me when I'm dead? Like, so like I want to die, Don't clip that out of context. And then like a week later, I don't want to die for a long time. I'm planning on living for a while, just to be clear. But after I die, which presumably will happen, maybe not. I plan on living forever, right? But again, it's possible I could get like shot in the street or something. But if I die, like my funeral has to be 1 week later, and I want to see if I can get more mourners than Dianne Feinstein. So, that's my challenge. So I hope everyone will listen to that. So if I'm dead and you want to come mourn me, as long as there's more than like 7 people, I view that as like a win. So, but anyway, so we have some mourners there. I just want to end this segment with a little fun fact. When I used to live in Washington D.C. and I was there when H.W. died, and that was a very fun day. Because I was in the background. Like, if you looked at all these cameras or whatever, you see the background people. I was one of the background people, and I was doing the double middle finger at George H.W. Bush's corpse. And a couple people, did see me. I was like I was by the fenced area, right? Because you have like the multiple barricades and fences where like the politicians are. Because like Obama was somewhere in there. It was like some church or whatever event. I don't know. They're doing it in the middle. Anyway, I remember, I was trying to get in on one of the cameras. I don't know if there's footage of that anywhere, but they probably didn't air it if there was. But, I love triggering people when politicians die. Personally, it's something I've done for a long time. And, I think my audience knows that. I don't think there's anyone in my audience that's going to get triggered when I make fun of a dead politician. But, anyway, what else can we say about Dianne Feinstein's dead body? Other than, I guess she's going to get laid to rest. I mean, I feel like she got laid to rest a week ago, but all right, better late than never. And there you go. So that's Dianne Feinstein. Local news, local to a location that I do not live in because I just love scanning local newspapers and getting this stuff. This is actually just on CNN, so it's actually not that deep. Man officiating a wedding in Nebraska accidentally shot his 12-year-old grandson during the ceremony, police say. So, this is like one of those like slice of life kind of stories. Like, what's going on in everyday America? Well, people are having weddings during a pandemic. So that's one thing that's a little odd. You're getting everyone together. Like, I don't know. To me, like, what is a wedding? It's like a show of love for another person. How do you show love to another person? By giving you, them, and everyone in their extended family a permanently disabling virus during a pandemic. That's the way to show love to another person. But anyway, and then you bring, like, Grandpa Motherfuck who brings a gun and shoots a kid. So let's find out what happened here. I don't know. I guess we'll got to read to find out. A grandfather who is officiating a wedding in Nebraska is facing charges after accidentally shooting his 12-year-old grandson during the ceremony. Okay. Now, this is like, I don't know, like, I'm more of like a pro-gun person than I think a lot of people that may watch me. But also, like, this is one of those things where it's like, we really... Like, we're too dumb to have guns. Like, as a society, as a species, I mean, you can just look at the reports. Literally any other country versus the United States of America. Like, we as humans are just too dumb for guns. Like, I'm sorry, like, I'm not saying we have to take the guns away. But, I mean, I'm just saying we have to be honest with ourselves. We, as a collective, are too dumb for guns. Like, it's just... I don't know, man. How do you go to a wedding and shoot your grandkid? Right? How is that possible? Right? Like, and now again, like, on top of getting a permanently disabling virus that they're going to be battling for the rest of their lives, they're also going to have to remember when one of the grandkids got shot by Grandpa Motherfuck. But let's keep going. Michael Gardner, 62, was officiating the festivities at Hillcrest Events in Denton around 5 p.m. on Saturday when he attempted to shoot a Pieta Model 1860 snub-nose revolver loaded with a blank into the air to gain the attention of the wedding guests. Like, why? Like, don't do that. Like, why can't you do the thing that the Jewish people do, or they like throw a bottle on the ground or some shit? Like, I don't know. I mean, I've seen like a movie with Jewish people in it, and that's what they did. They like threw a bottle on the ground. I've never been to a Jewish wedding. I couldn't tell you. But, like, I don't know. That seems a lot less dangerous than fucking firing an 1860 snub-nosed revolver loaded with a blank. We're going full, what was that movie where that one guy shot someone on the movie set? I don't know. But someone got shot by a blank. So let's keep going. Gardner, quote, decided to gain everybody's attention and start the wedding with a bang, Huchin said during a news conference on Monday. When he decided to cock back the hammer of this revolver, it slipped, and it shot his grandson into the left shoulder. Like, okay. Now, is this like an accurate quote, or did like the person transcribing this, like, are they a dumbass? It slipped and it shot his grandson into the left shoulder? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess it technically makes sense, but I've never heard someone say, like, oh, I got shot into the abdomen. Oh, where were you shot? Oh, I got shot into my left kneecap. Into? Like, I don't know. It's just a little weird. I'm just throwing that out there. 45 Colt ammunition, all caps, was blank. Was a blank. But Gardner, quote, put black powder into the casing and then glued it. The chief deputy added, and what we believe is the glue is what injured the child. Now, okay. So I've got some questions. One, how are you going to say it's a blank when it's not a blank? Now, again, I might not be the most educated gun person in the world, but I believe a blank is a modified round that doesn't have, like, you know, a bullet in it or some shit. Like, you can't just, like, fire the gun with nothing in it. Otherwise, there's no sound that comes out. Now, again, I am not an expert in this by any means, right? But if you're modifying the blank and you're not a professional, and clearly, right, this guy's not a professional, wouldn't it no longer be a blank? And also, like, okay, and what we believe is the glue is what injured the child. The glue injured the child? Now, okay, what? Like, in what universe does that make any sense? No, the gun injured the fucking child, you dumb fuck. The bullet injured the fucking child. The gunshot injured the child, okay? Like, when you put something inside of a gun, it does, like no one says, oh, and then, like, they were killed by, like, gunpowder. No one says that. They were killed by the gun. They were killed by the gun. You put something into the gun and shot it, and guess what happened? The thing that was inside the gun penetrated someone's flesh, and now they may or may not be still alive. I think the grandkid here says the boy's injuries were non-life-threatening. Gardner turned himself in to authorities. Good on him. But, like, I'm just like, when you put glue in the gun, like, what do you think's being shot out? Where's the glue going? And also, like, the glue is not what injured the kid. The gun injured the motherfucking kid. I don't need, like, whatever. Anyway, this is what's going on in Nebraska. People are hosting super spreader events during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, and also throw some guns in there to make things a little bit more interesting. And there you go. That's America for you. God bless. So this is something that's made some rounds in the news a little bit. I could probably post an individual news clip of this one and get a lot more views, but I don't want that, so I'm not going to. But a couple people have asked me, what is my opinion on Cenk Uygur running for president? Now, to my understanding, he has not actually announced that he's running for president. He's just doing a big, like, book tour and making a bunch of noise about his new book. But he says he might be running for president, blah, blah, blah. There may be more news in between when I'm filming this and when I post it. He might announce whatever, who knows, we'll see. But this is from Mediaite. Cenk Uygur is so frustrated by Biden's lagging poll numbers that he's staffing up for a 2024 run. Now, what does that mean? Like, now I watched the clip. Unfortunately, I'm here to say I did watch a Breaking Points video. I'm not a fan. I'm not proud of my behavior, but we all make mistakes. I did watch it. And he basically, he didn't say, oh, he's got an exploratory committee, which, by the way, what the fuck does that mean? All he said is he is staffing up. And he didn't even really say that, per se. He was just like, Crystal or Sagar, one of them, was like, so, like, are you doing anything? Are you getting staff? And he's like, yeah. And now we have like a headline here. But hey, whatever. I mean, okay, it works. So let's read. Cenk Uygur says he's so mortified by the prospect of former President Donald Trump winning a second term over incumbent President Joe Biden, who he views as weak, that he is staffing up for a 2024 run of his own. So I want to like start this off by saying, isn't he like not eligible to run for president? Now, I could be wrong. I looked him up on Google, and Google could be wrong, but according to Google, unless like someone modified the search result, whatever. According to Google, he was born, guess what, not in America, which makes him not eligible for the presidency of the United States. Now, does that mean he can't run? I don't know. That said, you know who else isn't eligible for president of the United States? Donald Trump. So again, I hate Cenk Uygur. I think he's garbage. I think he's really dumb. That said, if Donald Trump is constitutionally banned from running for office, but he's running anyway and everyone's just pretending like it's okay, I say let Cenk Uygur do it. Donald Trump is banned from running for any office, let alone president, under the 14th Amendment, Section 3. So if Donald Trump's able to get on a ballot, Cenk Uygur should get on a ballot. In fact, I should get on a ballot. I'm not even 35, and I should be able to get on a ballot because the Constitution no longer exists. Any state that puts Donald Trump on the ballot is violating the Constitution. In a way, you could say they're seceding from the Union, right? I mean, I don't know, like, what other language can we use? Like, you are not abiding by the Constitution of the United States. You're putting up a fake election where someone who's banned from running is on the ballot. If someone votes for him, it's constitutionally speaking null and void. I don't know, what are you doing in that instance other than trying to, like, create grounds to secede from the Union? I don't know. That's a whole side point, though. Let's get back to Cenk Uygur, who apparently is running for president. That's what everyone's telling me. He's running for president. I don't know. I watched the video. It looks like he's just advertising his book, and he's trying to, like, come up with a way to do it. And it's working. I mean, like, so shout-outs to him. He has a good way to advertise his book. But let's keep going. The progressive thought leader, that's hilarious, and founder of the Young Turks appeared on Breaking Points with Crystal Ball and Sagar and Jetty. I just want to say, like, apparently Breaking Points is like 1 million subscribers now. Like, that is horrifying. That is fucking terrifying. And, like, I just want to say, like, as far as, like, fascist propaganda goes, normalizing fascist thought, Breaking Points, I mean, again, Crystal Ball, I gotta say, whether or not we can have a debate on her personally having shitty politics, I think her politics are milquetoast at best on a personal level. But the fact that she has elevated Sagar and Jetty to such a degree, in left-wing spaces, the fact that left-wingers take Sagar and Jetty seriously, whew, wow, the call is coming from inside the house. What a terrifying project. Regardless of if Crystal Ball is, like, knowingly participating in this horrifying project, or if she's just, like, too dumb and she just doesn't understand what she's doing is evil. I'm willing to believe both of them. By the way, Crystal Ball still follows me on Twitter. I invited her on the show 1.5 years, maybe 2 years ago. She still has not gotten back to me, so if anyone wants to go ask her to come on my show, I have a couple of questions. But they asked Cenk Uygur about Joe Biden. And Cenk Uygur's been talking about Joe Biden. He can't do it. And this is his way of doing a book tour, because he's got a book. Right, so he's going on all these progressive news shows under the auspices of his book, and then he's going like, Joe Biden can't win, Joe Biden can't win. So that's getting in the headlines. So people are like, oh, Cenk's saying Joe Biden can't win, and then they're gonna go look at the videos, and then the videos are him advertising his book, and then now he's saying, oh, I'm staffing up for a 2024. Oh Jesus, I'm staffing up for a 2024 run, right? And it really, you go watch the video, and it's just like, oh yeah, I got a new book. It's called Justice is Coming. Yeah, it's coming. I mean, is it? I don't know. Okay. Oh, that's a debate for another time. But anyway, you can read the rest of this. I don't think any of this matters. Let's just read the transcript. My last question for you, Cenk, is like, how hopeful are you that we can end up with someone other than Joe Biden? And Jetty says percentage. You know, I just got to be honest. I hate Sagar and Jetty. I think he's a horrible person, and I think anyone that platforms this guy is just dumb. I think that this whole, like, ecosystem is really fucking, like, just really dumbass motherfuckers. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm a little triggered. That's possible. Ball says, yeah, because you say, yeah. I mean, because you say, listen, I know it's a transcript, but come on. Gavin Newsom's not going to run against them, blah, blah, blah. Okay, Crystal, we are definitely in an unsolvable riddle, says Uygur. Yeah, says Ball. This is like, I don't know, it's like reading a fucking Stephen King novel, you know, like, because the corporate Democrats say, I will not disobey, I will always bow my head, right? And the progressives say, well, I can't run, the mainstream media will destroy me, they'll destroy my life, they'll destroy my career, etc., blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I've already watched this video, so I can summarize. He doesn't really even say he's running for president. He's just like, yeah, if no one else is going to do it, I will. But also, like, Marianne is running, but also, like, apparently, so, like, someone else is doing it. But, like, she's not doing it the right way. So, I don't know. It's an illogical thing. Cenk Uygur's a dumbass. Everyone involved here is really dumb. I would say if you're in a panel situation, any room, any political conversation where Crystal Ball is the most intelligent person in the room, I gotta say, run. Get the, and I'm not saying run for president. I'm saying run the fuck for the fucking back door. Get the hell out of there, because nothing good can be coming from that situation. But anyway, Cenk Uygur apparently running for president. Is he going to keep doing this whole thing? Who knows? All I know is that this is a book tour, and this is, I'm not going to lie to you, props. This is a good way to sell books. That I will say. So shout outs to Cenk Uygur for being able to mount an effective book tour. That's actually pretty impressive. Everything else, I'm not impressed. That said, now again, all of everything that I said, if it's Cenk Uygur and, like, let's say Cenk Uygur's polling 12%, 14, 15%, and I would vote for Cenk Uygur before I would vote for Joe Biden. I would say that. Now again, I'm also going to say I don't really like Marianne Williamson too much, but she acknowledges that COVID is real and still happening. So she lives in reality. Cenk Uygur, the Young Turks, they don't. They pretend the pandemic disappeared. Breaking Points, that whole group, they pretend that the pandemic disappeared. At least Marianne Williamson acknowledges that COVID is still here, right? Because that's probably the best way to run against Joe Biden. But again, Cenk Uygur's living in La La Land, so he's not going to elevate that campaign. Like, this is the thing that really blows my mind, is leftists are so dumb. The same group of people that spent like 8 years, 10 years screeching, Medicare for all! Medicare for all! Medicare for all! We need Medicare for all. We need Medicare for all. Now we're in the height of the COVID-19 pandemic. It's as bad as it's ever been. Public health is at an all-time low. And where are the Medicare for all guys? Oh, they're out there pretending that the pandemic never happened. Or if it did happen, it was years ago, and now COVID is just like the flu. The same thing Donald Trump said that everyone laughed at. Oh, it's the flu, it's the flu. Now the Young Turks and Breaking Points, and I hate to say it, the leftist mafia too. Majority Report, they're still doing this pretend, let's all pretend the pandemic's over, come to my live show, let's all go to parties, let's do public movie nights, let's do all of this stuff, let's do meet and greets with the fans, give everyone COVID, blah, 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 because pandemic's over. By the way, Medicare for all, what happened to that screeching? I know I'm going on a sidebar, but it's my show, so I'm allowed. But, like, the same group of people, they couldn't shut the fuck up about Medicare for all for 10 years. And I actually believed them. I thought they actually meant it. They're gonzo on the most extreme public health crisis of any of our lifetimes, unless you were living in 1918, motherfucker. This is the most extreme public health crisis of your lifetime, and apparently no one gives a shit about healthcare anymore, so I'm just throwing that one out there. So I would vote for Marianne Williamson before Cenk Uygur or Joe Biden, because she at least acknowledges that the pandemic is not over. So, and now again, that's about the only thing I like about her platform. I don't think she's that great of a politician. I think she's really, I'm going to be honest, I think she's pretty fake. I think she's just doing all of this for attention and for a book tour. That said, if I'm voting in a primary and it's Joe Biden and Marianne, I'll vote for Marianne, because at least, hey, she's at least said one thing that's indicative of reality. Whether or not the reason she's doing it is just to get at Joe Biden, whatever, she's at least acknowledging reality exists, unlike everyone else in leftist media. So Just throwing that one out. Shame on leftist media, man. These guys have dropped the ball. If you're still looking at these guys for a North Star, you are sorely mistaken. They are in the culture war. They are stuck in there. It's like a mousetrap. It's like one of those things that you get stuck in. But it's not like one of those with the spring load that just like snaps your neck. It's like one of the glue traps, you know, and then you're just stuck there until you die. That's pretty much leftist media. Just I literally cannot fucking understand how these motherfuckers that have never they're still talking about Medicare for all hypocritically during the largest public health crisis of our lifetimes that they're all actively ignoring. It's insane. It's disgusting. And again, you know, that's why I've given up with these motherfuckers. But hey, I'm still doing a news show. Someone's got to do a real news show. And, you know, and again, you know, I'll just take this off the screen. I'm rambling here. But, you know, I used to think like, oh, what was my news show even good for? There are people that do it better than me. I no longer believe that. No one does it better than me. Why? Because all the people that I used to look up to and said, oh yeah, these guys are really good political commentators, they're all pretending like the pandemic's over. Like you see fucking Emma Vigeland going to VidCon. She just had COVID a couple of weeks ago. She went to a wedding and she went to VidCon while COVID fucking positive. Like, I mean, these are your heroes. I mean, Vouch is there too. This whole VidCon thing is really funny. They all went there and then a bunch of these guys got COVID and then they're blogging about it on Twitter now. Oh my God, I got COVID at VidCon. Who could have seen this coming? I mean, it's all a joke. Leftist media was destroyed. If it even did have an existence like that had any value whatsoever, it no longer does. And it's debatable whether or not it was a paper tiger to begin with. But just seeing all these motherfuckers pretend that the pandemic is over, the largest public health crisis of our generation, of multiple if you are 90 years old, this is the largest public health crisis of your lifetime. And the entire party of Medicare for all for the last 10 years, they're just... It's crazy. That's crazy ass fucking shit. Crazy ass shit. So someone's got to do a new show. Someone's got to acknowledge reality. No one else is doing it. And if someone else is doing it, feel free to let me know who they are, because I should bring them on my show. Anyway, Cenk Uygur running for president or not, whatever, buy his book, because that's really what these articles are about. There you go. So I'm going to get pretty feisty in this next segment. I'm going to say multiple things that people in my audience may disagree with, and or they won't hear it anywhere else, so someone's got to say it. But this is something that has been happening all over the country. A lot of people are going on strike. There's a UAW strike going on that's gaining a lot of attention. There was the SAG-AFTRA strike that I believe is in its final stages of resolving at this moment. Now we have 75,000 Kaiser Permanente workers walk off the job. It's the largest healthcare worker strike in U.S. history. So I just want to say I support labor. I support striking. But, again, we are currently in a pandemic. We are at the all-time height of the pandemic. COVID is more dangerous now than it was in 2020. People have less immunity now than they did in 2020. Autoimmune disorders are rising at a higher rate than they were in 2020. Immune dysfunction is at a higher rate than it was in 2020, right? Disability is skyrocketing. COVID is a disease that is not just an acute sickness. It is a long-term disease. If you catch COVID, expect to be not well for presumably at least 5 years and or the rest of your life. People who have gotten sick with COVID in early 2020 have been bedbound for the last couple of years. Not everybody, right, because it affects everybody differently. So I just want to talk about the idea, the fact that during the largest public health crisis of our lifetime, that these labor movements are pushing strikes without doing proper personal protective equipment. If you look at all of these strike videos, no one is wearing masks. If people are, they're doing the chin masks, right? Basically trying to hide the facial hair that they didn't feel like shaving that morning. That's pretty much what we're doing here. Where is the left on public health? Now, I have a question for you. Think about this labor situation from the capitalist perspective. Just think about this for a moment, right? Again, everyone's celebrating the win with SAG-AFTRA, whatever. Think about it from a CEO perspective, right? Your workers are getting more and more sick over time with every passing day that they're pretending that the pandemic is over, and the left is telling them, go outside, go to a strike, breathe down people's necks, scream all over people with no masks on during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, because the left is now as delusional as the right when it comes to public health, the germ theory of disease, and science, right? So from a CEO's perspective, why not make a deal with these laborers, right? They're going to go back to work. They're all going to be too disabled to strike again in 10 years. And then you're just going to walk all over them. Because really, think about it. Think about it, right? If you look at the World Economic Forum, look at Davos, right? The richest people in the world take extreme COVID precautions. If Joe Biden goes to any event, what happens the day before that event is there's extreme COVID precautions, right? If he's speaking anywhere, they do large-scale ventilation system hookups. Now, again, there's a few, outliers. Like Joe Biden went to the picket line. They didn't have time to do that, right? So, but if you go to the White House, how do you get inside the White House? You have to test negative for COVID-19. So the elites, the rich, the ultra-wealthy, they know that COVID is real and dangerous. They act accordingly. So why aren't labor organizers doing the same? Why aren't they saying, oh yeah, so we're going to go out on strike. Now we are in the height of the pandemic. COVID-19 is as transmissible, it's more transmissible than it ever has been. It is more dangerous than it ever has been. It has higher vaccine evasiveness than it ever has been. And the population is at an all-time low for vaccines, right? A year ago, only 16% of the country got the vaccine. That was a year ago. We don't know what the numbers are with this new vaccine that's coming out now, right? But again, what use is winning a strike if you're not going to be able to get out of bed in 5 years? I'm just asking that question. Like, someone's got to ask this question because the left has dropped the fucking ball. Now, again, am I saying don't go on strike? No, I'm saying go on strike and do it the right way. Use some of these strike funds on making sure that people don't end up in a hospital bed. That's what I would say, right? Now, again, you see all across this country is there's this like great delusion going on where everyone I know it has been sick at least once in the last 3 months, right? Everyone I know who knows someone has been sick at least once in the last 3 months. Every time I leave the house, even when I'm going for a walk in like a nature trail and there's like 2 people in the entire fucking woods, you know what I hear? Every time I go to the pharmacy, what do I hear? Literally every fucking where. And I leave my house like once a day at best, okay? And every time I leave my house, what do I hear from like the neighbors? What do I hear on the sidewalk? Why? Because we're in the height of the COVID-19 pandemic. And for whatever reason, the left is just ignoring this. They are ignoring this. Left-wing politicians ignoring it. Labor organizers ignoring it. Union organizers ignoring the largest public health crisis of any of our lifetimes. Why? Because it's not popular. You can take a selfie at a protest or a strike and get a lot of likes on Instagram. But if you say, hey guys, COVID is real and dangerous, everyone's going to laugh at you because the germ theory of disease is no longer believed by, I was going to say a majority of Americans, but I would say, let's look at the last vaccine statistics, 16%. So that's the ceiling. 16% of the country at best believes in the germ theory of disease. Wow. Holy shit, man. So I don't know. Is it a good thing that Kaiser Permanente workers are going on strike? Absolutely. But these are the same healthcare workers that don't wear masks in cancer wards. These are the same nurses that don't wear masks during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic. So you know what? Honestly, fuck these motherfuckers. Fuck doctors. Fuck nurses. Fuck them all. Anyone that works in healthcare and doesn't wear a mask when they work in healthcare, honestly, I hope that you lose your strike. Now, again, at the end of the day, there's more good actors. Well, actually, I don't even know if I believe that, if there's more good actors than bad actors. I think most nurses are bad. I think most doctors are mediocre at best. But, so hey, as a matter of principle, I endorse labor over CEOs. But just think about it from the CEO perspective, right? You give these guys whatever they want, And in 10 years from now, they're going to be too sick to actually go on strike. And you'll probably have AI and robotics that can replace them anyway. So, I don't know, man. We're seeing a lot of labor action. But think about it. Question, why are we seeing so many successful labor actions? And then tie that with you need a negative COVID-19 test to go to the White House. Tie that with the World Economic Forum is doing severe COVID-19 precautions. Why is the rich acting accordingly? And then somehow they're just giving up on all these union fights, you know? And then everyone's parading around like they did. Oh, look, we beat them. We won. Did you really? Or are the rich just acknowledging reality and saying, hey, in 10 years, this shit isn't going to matter anyway. Let's just get it over with and get back to normal as soon as possible? Think about it. I don't know. Now, again, are you going to see anyone else talk about this exact story and give you this perspective on YouTube? No. Why? Because independent left media has sold out to COVID. They've sold out to COVID. Independent left media would rather do in-person live shows and get parasocial relationships and have people buy their merchandise and sign books or whatever, or sign books for their fans or whatever, give them all COVID for their fucking craven career ambitions. People on the Majority Report would rather go to super spreader events while just getting COVID, right? Emma Vigeland just had COVID. She went to another super spreader. She's probably the one who gave all the people COVID at that fucking event anyway. I'm seeing a lot of people from VidCon talk about how they got COVID. Probably because of Emma Vigeland. She just got there was an outbreak at the Majority Report and she went to VidCon anyway. Why? Well, because they're fucking stupid. Independent left media has decided that their careers are more important than COVID advocacy. So someone's got to say it. Why? Why is it that all of these labor organizers are winning all of a sudden during the largest public health crisis of our lifetime? And again, not even just a generation, but like of the last 4 generations, the largest public health crisis, right? That has a high, like, I just want to say this. According to the CDC statistics, 1 in 10 COVID infections yields long COVID. And according to the CDC statistics, people are going to get COVID 3 to 5 times a year. According to the CDC's own statistics, we're going to have a 90% disability rate by 2027. That's according to the CDC numbers. And I personally don't trust the CDC. If anything, the CDC is undercounting. There have been reports that it could be as high as 1 in 5 infections that leads to a permanent disability. So, I don't know, man. The rich know it. The World Economic Forum knows it. The White House knows it. The CEOs know that COVID is real and dangerous. Why is the left they just forgot? A spell, a hypnotizing spell has been placed over the entire world. And we're all just pretending like this stuff is cool. Like, is it cool that they're going on strike? Yeah. But what good is going on strike going to do when in 10 years you can't get out of bed or you can't even taste food anymore? You can't smell anymore? When you can barely breathe? When you have a heart attack? By the way, did you know that COVID destroys your heart? Did you know that? If you watch my show consistently, you know that probably. But it's not a respiratory illness. It's a vascular disease. It destroys your entire body and it hides out in all of your organs. So there's people as young as in their 20s, people as my age that are perfectly healthy dropping dead because they had COVID 7 times and it damaged their heart. There are people in high school in this country that have early onset dementia. They got early onset dementia at the age of 16. 16 because of repeat COVID infections in school. But yeah, I'm sure going on strike is going to save everyone's day. It's cool. We can all talk about it in independent media. Everyone's going to do their content. Did you do a clip about the strike? Did you do a monetized segment about the strike? Yeah, we love the strike. The strike's awesome. Woo, go strikers. Now, again, in the abstract, I agree the strike is awesome. But if we are going to be talking about all this stuff and we're not going to say the elephant in the room, yeah, if you're going to a strike, wear a fucking mask. Wear a gas mask. An N95 is probably not going to cut it if you're striking for 8 hours. You're probably going to need a P100, right? Or better, bring an oxygen tank, have a closed ecosystem kind of situation. I'm just saying Until we acknowledge the elephant in the room, that we are at the height of the pandemic, this is the greatest public health crisis of any of our lifetimes, I can't take anyone seriously if they can't acknowledge that. So, hey, if that triggers you, cry about it, unsubscribe, I don't give a fuck. I'm in reality. I live in the real world. If you want to explain to me how COVID magically disappeared, I'm willing to listen. If someone wants to come on my show, open invitation, COVID's over, how did it happen? Tell me. Explain the mechanism. Did the vaccine fix COVID? Well, only 16% of people got the last vaccine. So you're saying 16% of people getting a vaccine solves the COVID crisis? That doesn't make any fucking sense. Was Joe Biden saying, we did it, Jack? Is that when COVID disappeared? Like, so just saying we did it, Jack, that somehow is able to affect the virus's, mutation schedule? I don't agree with that. Lockdowns that never happened. Did that solve COVID? Well, no. Like, so again, if you want to explain to me when COVID magically went away, I'm willing to listen. But all of these left-wingers are lying to you when they say that striking without PPE is a good thing. It's not. All of these left-wingers going to these conventions are scumbags. They are fucking losers. They are craven careerists, and they don't give a shit about the politics. They don't give a shit about the people. They don't even give a shit about themselves. They've lost the fucking plot. They care more about their careers than their own health and safety, than the health and safety of their kids and their families. And it may sound like what I'm saying is harsh, but what am I supposed to think? What am I supposed to think? Explain to me. If someone wants to offer an excuse for why all of these left-wing independent media shows are pretending that the pandemic is over and doing these in-person meetups and doing conventions, and if someone wants to explain to me why during the height of the pandemic, leftists are organizing on behalf of a virus to get people even sicker, if someone wants to explain that to me besides vibes and careerism, that's the only explanation I can think of. They care more about their subscriber count and how many books they can sell, than they do about their own health and safety, about the health and safety of their fans, about the people that respect them, that are unfortunate enough to respect these people that are being led astray. The same motherfuckers, the Majority Report, the same motherfuckers who did, how many people did Jimmy Dore kill with his anti-vax propaganda, are now going to conventions while COVID positive. They're going to conventions while COVID positive and doing in-person shows after doing, Jimmy Dore killed people with COVID disinformation, while they themselves are doing COVID disinformation. Make it make sense to me. Can someone explain? I haven't heard a defense. I haven't heard anyone on these leftist mafia. I haven't heard any one of them explain why the pandemic magically went away. Someone asked anyone on leftist mafia when their next show is, when did the pandemic go away? Can you explain the magical way that it just disappeared? Why did you all stop talking about it? Can someone explain the Majority Report, the Young Turks, right? All of these big quote unquote independent news shows that just pretend it disappeared. Like where did it go? It just magically went away. If we all think hard enough, it goes away. I don't know, man. So this ecosystem destroyed. It's gone. It has no fucking I have no faith left in it anymore. We need a new generation of people to take over independent media, because the people that we have here are stagnant losers, careerist losers, people that haven't updated their fucking model with the new world. They're in a new world running on an old world script. They're pretending like the 2019 rules online and offline are still applicable when they are not. We are living in a new world, a new paradigm. This is a disease apartheid situation. There's going to be an entire class of citizens in this country that are too sick to live. And who's going to operate the machines when we have a 20% disability rate? Because it's climbing, it's skyrocketing. The disability rate is doubled in the last 10 years. Where's the left on your health? Where's the left on your safety? Where's the health on disease apartheid? They're out there doing conventions. They're out there fundraising. They're out there fucking doing meetups, fan meetups, to entrench their parasocial relationship with their viewers and give them a life-altering disease. Well, hey, that's good for YouTubers. YouTubers would profit from the disease apartheid. Why? Because more people stuck at home. Guess what? That's a lot of eyeballs on YouTube. So, hey, I think most leftists are too dumb to actually realize that this is why they're doing it. But that's just think about it. Think about it. Think about it. Right? When every sign in your career benefits from pretending the disease just went away, germs stopped existing. Yeah, germs. Remember germs? We believe they existed for 100 years. Now they just don't exist anymore so that I can go to VidCon? Like, explain that in any other way than I only care about my money and my career in the short term. It's capitalist brain rot. Leftist independent media, if you can even call it independent, has succumbed to capitalist brain rot. It's all about super chats. It's all about conventions. It's all about parasocialism. It's all about audience capture. No one wants to tell people the real dangerous truth is that COVID, in fact, is not magic. We don't live in the Harry Potter universe where like wizards and warlocks are casting spells. COVID did not magically disappear. Okay? Now, I know I'm repeating myself, but it's like, what the fuck? How am I supposed to celebrate a story like this when none of it matters? None of it matters. And also, to be honest with you, nurses, fuck nurses. Again, fuck nurses. I know it's unpopular to say this. I know I'm getting on my unpopular arc. And fuck it, I'm throwing it out there too. Fuck teachers too. Because teachers and nurses have been on the front lines of convincing people that the disease apartheid is here to stay and that COVID magically disappeared. That's what nurses and teachers are doing. I don't want to throw too many of these people under the bus, but I'm pissed as fuck at this world that I'm living in. I don't have a place anymore in society, right? I don't have a team. The left is even dumber than the right, in my opinion. In my opinion, shows like the Majority Report are proving themselves to be even dumber than fucking the Daily Wire shows. Why? Because the Daily Wire shows are just, they know that they're doing it for the money. They're lying for the money. They know they're lying for the money. None of them believe that shit anyway. And they're getting paid, son. They're getting fucking paid. Whereas leftists are doing all the same shit, but even dumber. They're not acknowledging reality whatsoever. They're in their own little content bubbles, and they're not even wealthy. None of these people are getting the kind of money the right-wingers are. So if you're going to lie to your audience for your own career, why not just go to the Daily Wire? I'm just curious. I'm just saying. So, hey, maybe people are going to be offended. Maybe some of my media friends are going to stop interacting with me now that I called them out. I don't know. But people have been asking me to name names, and those are the names. People disinforming their audience. Disinforming, Jimmy Dore tier COVID disinformation that has come from all of these major left-wing independent news shows that people in my fan base also love. And I used to love them. I used to love watching the Majority Report. I literally cannot stand their show anymore because almost every fucking show they do, almost every clip, they mention how, oh yeah, back during the pandemic. This is a great talking point that leftists love to do. Yeah, when the pandemic was going on, and we had the child tax credit, and Democrats just let the child tax credit go when the pandemic went away. What? I don't even understand how that's a talking point, because wouldn't it be more devastating and scathing of a critique if the pandemic didn't magically disappear? And it's actually worse now. That's reality, by the way. That's reality. And they still took away the child tax credit. Wouldn't that be an even more scathing critique of Democrats? But they can't say that because then they would be openly hypocritical when they go to their VidCons and their fucking book tours and their fucking other stupid shit that they do where they infect their audience and fuck their audience over with COVID disinformation. So again, I say this. Fuck independent media. Fuck left-wingers. Fuck right-wingers. Now that I'm not doing clips anymore, I don't have to worry about segments kind of being kind of going off course because the whole show is just one product. What are you gonna do? But how long has I've been doing this one? Okay. But anyway, that's all I got for today's program. At least news stories wise, I want to go more into what I'm up to, what I'm doing. I released a new video game experience. I'm trying to open this fucking shit up so that I can show y'all. A hot new banger, Doom WAD, called The Delirium Dimension. There's a little promotional picture here, of these are screenshots of the levels that I created with my genius wisdom. A lot of people have been asking me, what are you doing if you're not doing Above It All every day? Well, I'm focusing on art. I'm doing what I like to do, what gives me happiness and meaning, because to be honest with you, I'm not going to lie. Politics is as pointless as it's ever been. just think about it historically, right? Like 10 years ago, we were in a better spot. In 2013, we were in a better spot than we are now when it comes to political movements, right? Like, when I got involved in politics, the first election I could vote for was 2016. I voted for Bernie. When I got involved in politics, I naively, and again, I'm taking the L, big fat L, other way, big fat L, look at this dumbass. I actually thought that there was a leftist movement in this country. I know, can you believe it? Wow, I was fucking dumb. I went on YouTube and I found these socialist podcasts, right? I went to these socialist candidates. I did campaign work and people were saying all the things I agreed with. And then COVID came along and then all these left-wingers turned into fascist eugenicists that are endorsing disease apartheid and trying to get everyone as sick as possible, right? So now I naively thought, I took people at their word. I'm autistic. I make that mistake. When people tell me something, I believe them. I know. Wow, like dumbass, right? Ding dong. But I believe them. So when left-wingers were saying Medicare for all, I believed that they actually supported public health. I know. It feels ridiculous. So for me, I am politically demotivated. There is no left. It's non-existent. It's a cosplay thing. People put on their DSA hat and then they go to super spreader events and get sick. Hey, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe COVID did magically disappear. But if it did magically disappear, I would like to hear at least one argument that's at least based in logic. I have not heard. I've had this conversation with many people. I have not heard a single fucking argument for someone to explain how COVID magically disappeared. Because unless it's faith-based thinking, religious thinking, like God magically intervened or Harry Potter stepped down from the castle and waved the magic wand or some fucking shit, right? I am waiting to hear, even from Joe Biden, even from the CDC, even the official government sources have not told us how COVID magically ended. So, until any semblance of a left-wing movement returns in this country, I'm going to be honest with you, it's hard to take this shit seriously. Everyone's talking about the speaker. Oh, God, I almost forgot. Speaker McCarthy. Or should I say, not Speaker McCarthy, because he got ousted. Boy, howdy. Content, baby. Content. Every left-wing news show in the world is going to talk about former Speaker McCarthy. Ugh, how funny is it? Republican Civil War, content, clicks, content. Whoa. That's all these leftists are doing. When's the last time they've done a COVID segment? Just search. Search any of your favorite left-wing news show. Virus, COVID, disease, boosters. I mean, they might talk about the shots. Maybe. But hey, I don't know. Maybe I'm too sincere for this job. That's possible. Maybe the concept of selling my soul for money just doesn't sit quite right with me. And maybe I pay attention too much. Hey, that's my problem. Whatever. I would rather be a shut-in for 5 to 10 years than not be able to taste food again or have early onset dementia. Again, a 16-year-old in the United States was diagnosed with early onset dementia from repeat COVID infection. Hey, I'm not rolling those dice, motherfucker. So have fun with that. Have fun going to your VidCons. Have fun going to your super spreader meetups. Have fun doing your stupid ass bullshit where you all pretend to be normal people when in reality you're just fascists in sheep's clothing. Max is making dog noises over there. Because really, again, what is a leftist who begs their audience to go to an in-person show actually doing? What are they actually putting in the world? Actions speak louder than words, right? So you go on your show, Medicare for all, Medicare for all, Medicare for all, Medicare for all, and then you're doing in-person disease super spreader events, giving everyone that watches you a disease that's going to permanently disable them. But it's okay because on your news show you said Medicare for all. So I don't know, man. I can't take this shit seriously. I can't find any left-wing independent news show that talks about COVID. I can't find them. That like is larger than me, I should say. There's a couple I've seen that are smaller than me, and shout outs to them. But like, I used to think that, oh yeah, independent left-wing media is a net positive, but it's not. At this point, it's a net negative. It's diminishing returns, so much so that people are stuck in like fossilized ways of thinking. It's not 2019 anymore, right? I know I'm repeating myself, but it really is blowing my mind to fundamentally realize that the entire thing is a joke. All the actors are just jokesters. They're just pranksters. It's just about being right to these people. That's all it is. It's not about being safe. It's not about helping people. It's not about informing people. It's about being right in some abstract like chess game that's all made up. Like, imagine it's 10 years, right? You're in like a long COVID nursing ward. How did you get long COVID? I went to go see Barbie. When Joe Biden told me that COVID was magic and it disappeared, I believed him. I went to go see Barbie. Now again, you might think I'm crazy, whatever. Have fun. Have fun. Live your life. Have fun. Stop living in fear. Right? Yeah, have fun with that. Hey, I'm not as wealthy as you. I can't afford to get sick. If I get sick, guess what? I can't work. If I can't work, guess what? I don't have money. If you can afford to get sick 5 times a year and to be permanently bedridden in 10 years, if that's something you can afford, hey, have at it. Go see Barbie 20 times. I don't give a shit. Fuck you. In fact, go see it 30 times. Go on a fucking double feature every day for the rest of your life for all I care, and that life's not going to be very long. You might think I'm overreacting. At this point, you either believe COVID is magic, or rather, I should say, you believe magic is real, like Harry Potter is like a documentary, and that like the Passion of the Christ is also like historical documentary, and that like God, Jesus, or Joe Biden, or Harry Potter, or J.K. Rowling, or somebody like just said, and let there be no COVID, and then it disappeared and it's over. Either you believe that, or you've made a series of unfortunate mistakes. And you can either keep making those mistakes, you can either keep walking in line like a good little lamb to the slaughterhouse, or you can wisen up and say, hey, maybe 4 COVID infections, maybe 4 is enough for me. Because think about it, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, when the average person, especially the kids, oh God, think of the kids. Again, I keep bringing up this example of a teenager getting diagnosed with early onset dementia. The bitch has holes in her brain from COVID. From going to school and getting COVID 30 ass times. Holes in the brain, Swiss cheese looking brain from getting COVID. So I am deeply worried about the kids. The kids are fucked. I'm 27. If you're in my generation, you are in the luckiest generation as of this moment when it comes to COVID. Why? You're old enough to know better. Theoretically, you're old enough to not be a prisoner in the school system, because schools are prison. What happens if you don't go to school? Thugs, gangsters with guns will point guns at your family and drag you to school if you don't go to school. That's what happens. By the way, they're called truant officers. Look it up. Right, so school is a prison. You're forced to go there to undergo a mandatory medical experiment where they feed you things like chocolate milk and pretend like it's healthy. But don't worry, tomato paste on a pizza slice, that counts as a vegetable. So our kids are healthy. Thank you, Michelle Obama. And they're also infecting you with a virus that destroys your brain. Have you been seeing these reports of the school test scores going, people are saying the lockdown, the lockdown that didn't happen for 90% of the country, right? Versus the disease that eats away at your brain? I wonder what's more likely to cause significant learning disabilities in millions of people. A lockdown that 90% of people didn't even follow, that happened for like a couple weeks at best, or I don't know, the disease that eats your brain up and has led to people being diagnosed with dementia at the age of fucking 16. I don't know, man. You tell me. Because if you're going out to see fucking Beyonce, like a fucking good little drone, like a sheep, like a lemming, you believe that. Like, you believe that the test scores for all school children are more likely to be linked to the lockdown than the fucking literal disease that destroys your brain from the inside. That's what you're believing, because actions express priorities. Actions speak louder than words. You're prioritizing your belief in magic. In magic. You believe in magic. Right? I don't believe in magic. Right? That's why I fucking wear a mask and I don't go to super spreaders, because I don't believe in magic. You believe in magic. So, in that world, IQ is going cratering, test scores cratering, and I don't like IQ as a measurement. I don't like test scores as a measurement, but it's what we have right now, right? Like, you think that that's more likely to either also be magic. It's either the lockdowns caused it, or maybe that's too right-wing for you. And maybe you're a leftist. Maybe you're a Majority Report fan. You love the leftist mafia. So you believe it's some other magical cause that's causing all test scores in all regions to go. It couldn't be the diet, because we're not allowed to criticize people's food choices in the left because, oh my God, how dare you? Don't you know someone somewhere has a food desert? So that means we can't ever talk about healthy eating in the left-wing spaces? Because what if one viewer somewhere doesn't apply to them, so no one can talk about it? That's what left-wing news shows will tell you if you talk about healthy eating. So we're not allowed to talk about healthy eating. We're not allowed to talk about COVID anymore because it ruins the vibes. I want to go to VidCon, so we can't talk about COVID. So I don't know, man. Hey, I'm just leaving you. Am I rambling? Yes. Am I sounding a little crazy? Yes. But guess what? I hope I'm wrong. As much as I would love to say I told you so, as much as I would love... Now, hey, what's better? Heroin or someone who's permanently disabled coming into like a stream chat that I'm doing in the year 2035 saying... I unsubscribed from you back in the day when you took COVID seriously. I believed in magic, and now I'm permanently disabled, and you were right. Now, if you compared heroin to that hypothetical scenario, I would rather that than heroin. But you know what I would rather than both of those things combined? I would rather COVID, we actually dealt with the pandemic, and it actually goes away, and we actually solve the crisis, or... I would love to believe in magic, because maybe magic is real. Maybe long COVID is totally made up. Maybe all the test scores are cratering for some other unknown reason. Maybe it's not the disease that has been documented to destroy your brain. Maybe it's, I don't know, something else. Like maybe their pencils are breaking too fast and it's destroying their concentration. Hey, I could be wrong. Let's hope I'm wrong. For your sake. Let's hope I'm wrong. Right? Anyway, that's all my show has to offer. I had a lot of coffee this morning. And thank you all for watching. I really hope you stay safe out there, but I got a polar seltzer here. Shout outs to Polar Seltzer. Anyway, enjoy the outro. Have a good time.